We did it! How the hell did we do that? Listen, we should join the video game Olympics.
Yeah.
Because we're bad.
We have always been exposed to Japanese culture. In the 70s, Japanese manga and anime played a huge role in every Middle Eastern child's life. Every cartoon we watched on TV was from Japan, dubbed into Arabic.
We loved it. The shows were fun, giving us insight into Japanese life, customs, food, and insanely creative storytelling.
Then, in the early 80s, our father opened one of the first few Hello Kitty stores outside of Japan. As a result, we were fortunate to be further exposed to Japanese culture.
Our father would return from business trips to Tokyo and tell us stories of how they ate raw fish with sticks. He enjoyed cooking, so these stories were usually told over a bowl of miso soup or ramen that he made for us.
We were fascinated by Japan, completely drawn in, even more so than the millions of other Middle Eastern kids who were hooked on Japanese cartoons.
Since then, we've traveled to and from Tokyo many times, and here we go again. But this time, social travel is helping us connect to the local side of the city. So now, this is probably one of the most famous streets in Tokyo.
Right.
And even outside of Japan, people know the street. So we're in Akihabara.
Yeah.
How would you describe Akihabara?
Oh, Akiba is a city focusing on otaku content. Otaku means people who are crazy about Japanese content, such as animation, comics, games.
It seems like all of it is here. Is this sort of like the identity for the Japanese?
Yeah, actually, yes. All otaku people identify, I'm otaku, when in Akiba. The place we are going is named Super Potato, which are selling a pretty retro game content.
So that's from Paymon, from when you were young. They have games. I didn't know they had games back then.
Look at the old man talking. He's an old man.
So, here you are.
Heaven. I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll be back in 24 hours. This is insane.
Here you are. Yeah.
And he's serious, huh?
I'm so serious.
This is Super Potato. You are here. This shop sells consoles, like family computers, and the next generation Super Family computers. It's like 80s and 90s. It is first generation.
I'm too young to remember that.
This is what you grew up on. This is first generation of Nintendo.
This is crazy. I mean, you have like all these vintage games.
Right.
And today, at this moment in time, we probably have some of the best games ever made. You know, the graphics are just unbelievable. Why do people care about like old
Just
games?
imagine, in the world there are collectors who buys retro games. So maybe you can see only this one game. This costs like $700.
$700 US
US
for
dollars.
a game.
Yeah, just one game.
And there are people that buy that game.
Yes, because it's an antique, the vintage game.
I'm gonna take a picture for the boys back home because we have a lot of otaku like Emiratis.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
So everything in here, like you said, is train related. And is there people that are otaku for trains?
Yeah, that's what
And you guys are not otaku, you guys are hyper otaku. You
I
take it
hope
to
so.
another level.
Yeah, another dimension. So Tokyo Otaku Mode is like a media focusing on otaku content such as anime and games and comics and trains and so on.
Daisuke, what's your role with Tokyo Otaku Mode?
知っての通り秋葉原には多くのオタクグッズが、執筆したりとか写真撮影したりとかをしてます。
You don't need to translate, I understood everything.
Oh, really?
No.
I know that. So he's a specialist for Akiba, and he is kind of a reporter, and looking for new otaku goods in Akiba. He will write, hey guys, this is the newest, coolest news in otaku world. Yeah.
Happening.
Yeah, so he writes in
great.
Japanese, and our translators will translate and deliver to the world. So we started like 2 years ago. We have more than 11 million fans on our Facebook page.
11
million fans.
Can you
Facebook
have 11
fans.
million fans on Facebook?
But you know what? 99% of this fan base is outside Japan.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, is there any country where you guys are really very strong?
One of the largest countries include like Mexico,
What?
Indonesia, Philippines, and the US as well.
Mexico, I would never imagine would be like a big otaku.
No. South America is very creative at Japanese content.
Tokyo Otaku Mode's story is just fantastic to me because it started off with like a passion from you and your co-founders and a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Like what sort of investment do you need? You know?
Nothing.
Yeah. And 2 years later, 11 million fans, you have this awesome website, you know? And it's a resource for anybody interested in otaku anywhere in the world. You know, we're big fans of Team Lab, and there's so much that you guys do, but what is Team Lab?
Oh, actually, we called ourselves as like a ultra technologist group.
Ultra Technologist Group.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's because it's our work, it's mainly is a solution company. It's a technology. So we have always client, and we try to solve their problem, but it's a technology. And we are like 300 people, and most of them has like special skill.
You have hardware people, you have software people in-house, and a lot of companies are outsourcing that. Why was it important for you guys to have your own people do that?
Because that's the only way to make some new things, as like that the future phone and it's a smartphone. It's a smartphone, you can't see which part the designer made and which part it's an engineer made. We need to make it, it's all together. Otherwise, we can't create something new.
Takashi-san, can you show us some of the projects that you guys have worked on?
Okay, this one I can show you. It's like 2 years ago we made. Our client it's a performance group. We try to collaborate with Japanese traditional like samurai performance with digital technology. If you heard some like a theater system, it's very hard to transport.
Correct.
But it's important thing is that this is made by it's a projector.
Yeah.
So it's you need a white screen and you need some.
Yeah. So you don't need an elaborate stage. It's all projection. So
Exactly.
Takashi-san, can we turn Paimon into a projection so he wouldn't be with me wherever I go? I could be alone.
Yeah.
We could do
You could
that.
save money for the production.
Let's do it. So look, these look like normal hangers, but I'm sure they're not.
Yeah, no. This name is we call the Team Lab hanger. This is a hanger. If you pick up the hanger, it's like a coordinated image is on this.
That's the show.
Like monitor. Yes, we can show anything we want, like a sound, movie, or anything. And then another point is it's through the network. So we have a log. It means what time and how long people are pick up. That kind of database we have never had. Before it was just only sold or not.
Wow, this is so cool. I mean, there's so many possibilities. Then once you pick it up, then you could also see the sizes, you could see whether it's available.
Exactly. Even we can show that it's a recommend also. If you pick up like this one, it's maybe this kind of the pants is good for you, or this jacket is better for you. It's we can do. It's a little bit more fun things.
This is really cool. Can we see something else over here? I saw some other screens and things.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, this is a team camera. And so you can choose a design.
How are you making this work?
It's censoring. And I'm going to do that. And then it's become like I'm manga effect. And then upload on the Facebook.
So this actually directly goes to your Facebook page?
Exactly, exactly.
So you've taken like gesture recognition, social, and then also driving traffic to
Exactly.
a company's Facebook page.
Yes.
Can we get a picture with you?
Of course.
How do we do that?
And so we can choose.
Okay, I'm gonna get on that side real quick.
Yeah.
This one's good?
Okay.
Okay, that's
We can
good.
do. And then it's become there.
That is too cool.
It's we love future.
There's top 40 music, yeah. Then there's independent artists, and then there is the crazy people.
What's happening here?
Can you explain how it works?
いやいやいや、OK。これはだいたい40年前ぐらいに使われてた古い録音機。
So it's basically made of things that made from 40 years ago.
This unit over here is 40 years old.
はいはいはい。
Can you just give us an example of how it works?
いやいや。Hello, hello.
So like they recorded the whole thing and they start playing it.
That's his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And パチパチパチパチ。
Is that a tempo?
Yeah.
That's a tempo,
Yeah,
right?
tempo.
Okay. Okay. This allows the machine to read the sounds. This one controls the tempo.
いやいやいや。
And you have many different tempos programmed over here.
いやいやいや。意図的におかしくして。
Like so he purposely make it work in a wrong way, so they go it slower or faster.
So you know what? I called you a hacker. You know, just like people who hack computers, you like hacked this analog device using a computer.
Yeah.
So you got this device. You know, it's quite old. It's very old. What inspired you to hack it and turn it into this crazy musical instrument?
まずぶっ壊れてこれ譲り受けたんですけど最初は。
Oh, so when they received it, it was like broken.
で彼と大学で改造を始めた。
Oh, so they start customizing it to their needs.
You guys who use the machine, you call yourselves DJs or are you musicians? Which one?
と思います。
テーププレイヤ
Tape player. Created a new title. Ah, TJ.
Real jockey or
RJ, TJ.
Whose idea was it?
この機械が誰かを作った誰かのアイディアですか？
最初のアイデア、は彼と彼が大学で作ったんですけれども。
In the beginning, Sato-san and Wada-san, so they were in the university and they created it together.
So these are the creators of this
Yeah,
machine.
the device, yeah.
And you guys are musicians as well? The answer to that is yes.
Engineers?
I used to be in a band, and we're like 3 people in the band, and it was hard to find the bass player. You guys invented your own instrument, and you found 3 other crazy people to join your band. That's insane. Why go through all that trouble?
もともと僕たちみんな普通にバンドをやってたんですけど、これを見た時にギターより面白かったんですよ。
They already had their band and they were playing music and they know how fun it is. But when they tried this, it was a new feeling, so it was like more interesting than the normal instruments.
一つは音を出すと回るじゃないですか。で、音を巻き戻すと回転も戻る。つまり音と動きが一緒になってるから、これは耳だけじゃなくて目で楽しむものだ。
So for them, it's not just the sound, it's the movement mixed with the sound. They thought of showing the back of them instead of the front.
Why is that?
なぜこれを？
回転を見せたい。
So because they didn't want people to see them, they want to see the turning of tapes.
点も見せないとっていう。
So if they don't show the turning, it won't feel complete.
What happens when all these machines break? Where do you get the tape?
Yeah.
Because they don't make it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? What do you guys do?
そう、お葬式のコンサートを開きます。
おしまいです。
Yeah, so they will do a funeral performance
For their instruments.
全部燃やす。
So they will burn it within the performance.
供養する。天に。
So it will burn and go to heaven.
Yes. The Japanese people and also non-Japanese who visit Japan, they always talk about the cherry blossom. And you think, yeah, come on, it's just going to be some trees with some flowers on. We see them all over the world. But then suddenly there's this carpet of blossom across the city, across the country, and you're like, oh my God, it really is. You're like, wow.
Cherry blossom, you call it sakura over here, right?
Yeah, it's like cherry blossom picnic. We call it hanami.
So that's what's happening. We're seeing everybody having a picnic.
Yeah, everyone's having hanami. So hana is flower and mi is look.
To see. We always feel it so special because sakura is a country flower as well. But when I was a little, we grew up with cherry blossom, and it was also a chance for us to get together with friends and family.
Yeah, it's a real strong cultural thing.
So you're wearing a traditional hanami costume, I see?
Yeah, I have my hanami legs on today. They don't show up too well in the daytime, but we've got some pink LEDs
Nice
here.
touch, I have to say. I'd love for you to explain exactly what you do, because it's quite unique.
I always hated sports. I had no interest in sports, running or anything. I didn't like, if I went running for the train, my heart would start to hurt. I went to the hospital, was fitted with a monitor, and the doctor said, well, you got a bit of a funny heartbeat, but if it hurts when you run, don't run. So I was like, okay, no problem, I don't like running. A few years later, a friend of mine, he said, hey, let's run a quarter marathon. A quarter marathon? Marathon? I don't do marathons.
You're like, the doctor told me I might die.
Yeah, exactly, you trying to kill me? At the same time, mobile phones, smartphones were coming out with GPS technology,
which meant that I could record the course that I was running. So the actual route that you run, when you look at it afterwards on a map, it paints a picture in Google Earth. Then mobile live streaming video became available for smartphones. So I strapped my phone on my head, just like in something like this, and I had about 1,000 people watching online from around the world. So it developed into this kind of contraption here with this, oh no, I just knocked my radar off the machine, oh well. So this helmet gradually grew. We have a couple of HD cameras, one for video, one for, it takes a photo every 0.5 seconds. This would link to a live streaming mobile box. We have Tokyo Skytree, which is the world's tallest tower. It's actually a broadcast tower.
You started this whole thing in 2009, and in a way, you made running social. And you know, you were joking about it, that when you're running and you're like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna die. And then people would like reach out to you and say, you know, no, keep on going, do it, you know, this is great.
I must admit, I wasn't really expecting that kind of feedback, but you know, it makes a huge difference, that social aspect.
You're not alone.
When I ran the Tokyo Marathon, I had 42,000 people watching my stream. So I'm running a marathon with more virtual people than there were runners running the marathon.
That's a lot of weight on your back.
Yeah, imagine the pressure.
If I had to live anywhere else, it would have to be Japan. And my city of choice? Tokyo. I love how it's ultra-developed and modern, but yet their culture and identity remain as strong as ever. Their values have never changed.
The Japanese sense of identity is amongst the most powerful I've ever come across. You can feel it walking through the streets of Tokyo. Everything is created or influenced by the Japanese, be it food, music, or product.
What I find fascinating about the Japanese people is their introspection, insight, and never-ending quest for improvement. It is deeply ingrained in everyone.
Now imagine the impact this can have on an entire nation. Systems are better, products are better, creativity is rife.
The people we met understand the global attraction to all things Japanese and have over the years expanded their exports to include the cultural, or should I say, subculture side of Japan.
In contrast, we come from the UAE, a place where everything, and I mean everything, is imported. Yes, we're a young country, but I dream of the day when locally produced ideas outnumber imported ones. Not just from the perspective of self-sufficiency, but identity.